Hi everyone. Let's go back in time to a place far away and meet a girl named Salome. She was a princess, but her life wasn't a fairy tale. She lived in a big palace, but she wasn't always happy. Her story is about making choices, and how our choices can have big effects, sometimes very sad ones. The story is found in the Gospels of Matthew 14 verses 1 to 12 and Mark 6 verses 14 to 29. Salome's mom, Herodias, was a very powerful woman, but she had a lot of problems. She had done some things that people thought were very wrong. She had divorced her first husband, who was also her uncle, yikes, and then married Herod, who was like the king of that area. This made many people angry and they whispered about her all the time. They didn't think she was doing the right thing. Salome grew up seeing all this drama around her. It was like living in a soap opera, with arguments, secrets, and people trying to get ahead. She was trained to be good at dancing and singing, and to be pleasing to important people so she could get favors for her mom. She learned how to act fancy and do what others wanted, but inside, she felt lost. Her mother had planned everything for her life, and Salome was like a puppet, with her strings pulled by her mom. It felt like her whole life was just a show, and not a real, happy life. She didn't get to really be herself. She saw how important it was to be rich and powerful in her world. At the same time, there was a man named John the Baptist. He wasn't like the fancy people in the palace. He lived in the desert and wore simple clothes. He was a preacher, and he spoke about God and about doing the right thing. He told everyone to stop doing bad things and start living better lives. He was very brave and spoke the truth, even if it made powerful people mad. John the Baptist was especially angry at Herod and Herodias, because he said their marriage was wrong and that they were being bad people. He told everyone that they were breaking the rules that God had given. Herodias hated that, because it made her look bad, and she was very concerned about what other people thought about her. John was a big problem for her, because he was telling everyone that her power was built on bad actions, and that she should be ashamed. One night, Herod had a big birthday party, with lots of food, music, and dancing. Everyone was in a good mood, and they had all been drinking. Herod wanted to see Salome dance because he knew she was a good dancer. Salome knew that she was supposed to dance well, because her mom had been training her whole life, and it was a way for her mom to get power and favors. She danced beautifully, moving around with grace and making everyone watch her. But she wasn't dancing for herself, she was dancing to make Herod happy and to help her mom. Herod was so impressed by Salome's dance that he was filled with lust. He was drunk and feeling very generous, so he made a silly promise. He told Salome that he would give her anything she wanted, even half of his kingdom. It wasn't a real offer, it was just something he said to impress everyone. Salome didn't know what to ask for, so she went to her mom for advice. This is where things really started to go wrong. Her mother, Herodias, had been waiting for this chance. She was still really angry at John the Baptist. She didn't want gold or jewels. She wanted to get rid of John the Baptist forever. So, she told Salome to ask for John's head on a platter, like it was some kind of object. It was a terrible thing to ask for, and it showed how cruel and vengeful Herodias was. She was using her daughter to get what she wanted, no matter how wrong it was. Herod didn't want to kill John the Baptist. He knew that John was a good man, but he had made a promise in front of everyone, and he felt like he had to keep it. So he made the horrible decision and had John killed. John was murdered by the king's soldiers, and his head was put on a platter. The head was brought to Salome. It was a terrible thing to see, and even though she had gotten what her mom wanted, she felt very sad and empty inside. Salome had taken part in a bad decision, and even though she got to feel powerful for a little while, she couldn't enjoy it because she knew she had helped do a terrible thing. Her dance had led to the death of an innocent man. Salome's story is not just about a girl long ago. It teaches us important lessons that we can use in our lives today. Be careful who you listen to. The influence of our guides. Salome's life was heavily influenced by her mother, Herodias, and this influence led her down a terrible path. Herodias was a woman who was driven by her own selfish desires for power and revenge, and she didn't care who she hurt in the process. She manipulated Salome into asking for John the Baptist's head, showing how a bad influence can lead to terrible actions. Think about your own life. Who are the people you listen to the most? Are they kind, honest, and do they encourage you to do what's right? Do they make you feel good about yourself, or do they make you feel like you're not good enough? It's very important to choose your role models carefully, because the people you listen to will affect the choices you make and the person you become. Good influences in your life should want good things for you, encourage you to be kind and honest, and respect the choices you make. Don't blindly follow what others are saying without first thinking if it is the right thing to do. You have to be smart, and think about if the person you are listening to is a good person, and if what they are saying is a good thing for you to do. Don't let them lead you to do things that can make you or others sad. Always remember that your friends and the people you look up to should inspire you to be a better version of yourself, and they should never push you to do things that make you feel uncomfortable or go against what you know to be right. Don't let others use you. The importance of self-agency. Salome was used as a pawn in her mother's cruel plan. She wasn't making her own decisions, her actions were dictated by what her mother wanted. This is a powerful lesson about the importance of having control over your own life and not letting others treat you like you're just a puppet on a string. Everyone deserves to feel like they have a voice and that their opinions and feelings matter. You shouldn't allow anyone to take that away from you. It's crucial to recognize when someone is trying to control you, manipulate you, or make you do things you know are wrong. If someone is trying to pressure you to do something that makes you feel uncomfortable or hurts others, you have the right to say no. Never allow yourself to be used as a tool for someone else's selfish goals. When you allow yourself to be controlled, you are giving away your power and your agency, meaning you won't get to be the person you were made to be. It's okay to stand up for yourself, express your own thoughts, and make choices that reflect your values, even if they don't align with what others expect from you. Learning to say no, and setting boundaries with others is key to living a life of purpose and integrity. Your worth isn't found in pleasing others, but in being your true self. True worth isn't found in pleasing others. The importance of inner value. Salome was so focused on pleasing her mother and the important people in the palace that she forgot about herself. She thought that being liked by others was what made her valuable, but she didn't realize that true worth comes from within. This tells us that we cannot put all our value on other people's opinions of us. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that our worth depends on what others think about us. But true worth comes from how we see ourselves and how we treat other people. Trying to please everyone is an impossible goal and will leave you empty and lost, like Salome. When you make decisions based on trying to get approval from others, you will start living your life for them, not for yourself. True happiness comes from within, from knowing you are a good person and that you are doing the right thing. You should find your value in your own unique qualities, talents, and actions. You are special just the way you are, and you should never change your value just because others want you to. Treat others kindly, be honest in your dealings with them, and find happiness in who you truly are as an individual. When you value yourself from within, you will stop looking to others for the approval that you need. Be careful of empty promises. The weight of words. Herod's rash promise to Salome, made in a drunken stupor and just to impress others, shows how careless words can have terrible consequences. This was not a genuine offer made out of generosity, it was a silly and thoughtless promise made because he wanted to appear powerful. His foolishness led to John the Baptist's death, showing that we must be careful about what we say, and that we must never take a promise lightly. When we make a promise, we are making a commitment, and we should always do our best to keep it. Before making any promise, whether big or small, you must think carefully about it to make sure it is something you can keep. Don't just say yes to anything because you feel pressured or want to please others. Your words have power, and you must never promise something that you are not prepared to deliver. People should be able to trust your words, and if they find out that you have made promises you can't keep, then you will lose their trust. Always be honest and genuine with your words, and they will carry more weight with the people around you. It's important to be someone who speaks with integrity and intention, not just empty words. Power should be used wisely. Responsibility with influence. Herod and Herodias both had a lot of power, but they used it for selfish and cruel reasons. Their actions show us that power should be used to help others, not to hurt them. People in charge should be leaders who are good, wise, and compassionate. They should be protecting the people they are in charge of, not taking advantage of them. Sadly, some people use their power to bully others, and this is never right. If you have any kind of power or influence in any situation, you must always be mindful of how you use it. For example, if you are a leader in school, be sure to be fair, kind, and helpful to those around you. Be the kind of leader that makes people want to follow you. Always remember that power comes with responsibility, and it is always important to treat everyone with fairness and respect. Great leaders are not those who demand others follow them out of fear, but those that use their power to uplift those around them. Always seek the truth. The courage to stand up for what's right. John the Baptist was a brave man who spoke the truth, even when it was unpopular and it made powerful people angry. This teaches us that we should never be afraid to stand up for what's right, even when it is hard. It's always easy to go along with the crowd, but it's important to listen to your conscience and make your decisions based on your values. Don't compromise your morals or what you know to be right because it's easy. You should always strive to do what is right, regardless of what others might think or say. There may be times where you feel alone, but always remember that standing up for what is good is always the right path to take, even if it is a hard one. Be a person who is not afraid to speak the truth, and who always tries to lead others to do what is right. There are many situations in life where it's hard to do the right thing, but remember what John the Baptist did, and have the courage to be different. Bad choices have consequences. The law of cause and effect. Salome's involvement in John's death was the result of bad choices, and she experienced terrible consequences, feeling sad, empty, and responsible for what happened. This shows that all our choices, whether big or small, have consequences. You can't do a bad thing and expect that everything is just going to be okay. You have to take responsibility for your actions, and know that everything you do in life will have a cause and an effect. You should always think before acting, because your decisions will impact you and those around you. You must always try to choose the path that leads to happiness and peace, and this is always found in doing what's right, kind and true. If you make a mistake, it's important to learn from it and make better choices in the future. Don't try to cover up your mistakes, but take ownership of them, and make an effort to be better next time. Living a good life is all about making good choices, even when it's hard. Wow, what a story! Salome's tale teaches us a lot about the choices we make and how they impact not only ourselves but those around us. We hope you enjoyed learning about her life and the important lessons it holds. If you loved this video, please remember to subscribe to our channel, Scripture in Pictures TV, so you don't miss out on more amazing stories from the Bible. Give this video a big thumbs up, if you liked it. Also, please share this video with your friends and family so they can learn these important lessons too. And finally, please leave a comment below and tell us what you thought about the story of Salome. We love hearing from you.